All right, welcome everybody to your last lesson on digital citizenship this year over digital privacy security. We're going to be talking about protecting our personal information and how to watch and avoid for phishing scams or cyber attacks online. I'm Jason Sanders. I'm the Director of Instructional Technology for Northwest ISD.
I'm Katie Berry, the Coordinator of Instructional Technology.
So we're really happy to get to talk to you guys today. Teachers, you guys are going to be communicating through the webinar chat, not the Q&A. So just make sure that you're able to type into the chat when we're asking for some of those questions. Students, you're going to sit back and engage in the conversation with your class. No devices needed for the webinar portion. We will have you fill out a form, but that's at the very end of the lesson. So don't worry about that until we get to the end. So let's get started. Today, we're going to be talking about digital privacy and security. This relates to the NISD SEL framework, specifically about self-management. It's obviously in our nature to share and connect with others as humans, but that does come with some risks when we're talking about doing it online. So as we learn about digital privacy and security, it's important that we learn how to build strong and positive relationships online without sharing too much information and making sure that we are protecting ourselves and others. It takes self-control and self-discipline to know what is smart to share and what you should be keeping private. So today we're talking about proper steps to ensure and keep our online safety, including how to change your password, being able to recognize different things and stuff like that.
Some of our takeaways from our learning today are going to be to, 1, describe different ways that identity theft can occur online. 2, use message clues to identify examples of phishing. And 3, learn how to reset your NIST password for protection. You might be asking yourself, how can you protect yourself online and from phishing?
So phishing, thieves using others' information to cyberbully someone, to create false documents, to buy things with others' money, to get loans, jobs, or driver's licenses. Thieves take information in order to do these things. But what information is most important? That's the question we're going to have you guys talk about right now. What do you own? And we're specifically talking to you students. What do you own that someone else might want to steal? Why? And what would they do with it? So classes, take about 2 minutes to chat about this as a group, talk about the different things that you might own that someone else might want to steal, and what the implications are for stealing that information. What would they do with those things? We'll give you about 2 minutes. You guys can put answers to things you think. Teachers, you can put that into the chat.
Thanks for sharing your responses. We saw lots of really great ones. One of them that came from Ryan Weiss's class at Tidwell was stealing your Apple phone, because lots of people have Apple Pay connected. And so that's going to give you not only access to the phone, but also some of your different credit cards and places to pay with all of your things.
That's true. And if you store passwords on your phone too, if you have like a password thing, you might have all your passwords in your phone too. So that's a really, that's important to keep a pin on your phone. Another one we saw was from Kat Cornell's class at Adams. And they specifically had one that we were looking for in there that said Social Security number. Social Security number is that number that's assigned to you at birth by the government. And that number is used for a lot of things like getting credit cards, applying for loans, doing a bunch of things. And so thieves could use a Social Security number that hasn't been used before to apply for all those things, use them up. And then when a student gets older and then tries to do that for the first time, they realize that that Social Security number has been compromised, but they might not know it for years. So that was a really good answer. So thank you guys for responding in the chat and giving us those answers. We really appreciate it. So we have a video here that we wanted to share with you guys that just kind of goes over what phishing is and what to look out for.
Phishing is a game of deception. Phishing is a fraudulent method of gathering sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details using deceptive emails and websites. In a phishing attack, the attackers pretend to be a trusted entity and tricks the user into opening an email, text, or instant message. Next, the user is enticed into downloading an attachment, clicking a link, or providing sensitive information such as login credentials. How can you spot a phishing attack? Let us take a look at 4 common types of phishing attacks. Email-based phishing. Let us analyze this email. Here, the subject is a psychological ploy to create anxiety, which can trigger an immediate response. The sender email ID isn't a genuine one. The logo is inserted to create a sense of trust. There is a call to action followed by a link. The next time an email tries to rush you into downloading an attachment, clicking a link, or sharing sensitive information, look out for these signs. Text-based phishing or smishing. Like email-based phishing, text-based phishing uses psychological ploys to trigger a reaction, in this case clicking the link. Phone-based phishing or vishing. Like other forms of phishing attacks, phone-based phishing too uses psychological ploys. How can you guard yourselves from phishing attacks? The solution is simple. Always be alert. Ask yourself, is this email, text message, or phone call genuine? Always check for the phishing indicators.
All right, so that video did a good job showing us when someone poses as an institution or something else, how that's a phishing scam. They can be asking you for private information by posing as either a personalized message or someone you might know or things like that. Katie, what are some of the ways we can identify a phishing attack?
So I had said, what can you do? You can be alert. Here's different ways that you can be alert to identify phishing. One, if it might have a sense of urgency. When the sender says, hurry, you only have a limited time to respond. In the next 20 minutes, I need you to click this and give me this information. Number two, you might see some spelling or grammar errors, just like you see on this phone message that came through. It says, then click the verified link, but it's got a weird period in the middle of verified. Number three, alert, alert. The message sounds urgent, making you worry that something is wrong with your account. That might be something about if you don't respond in the next 24 hours, you're going to be locked out of your account. There might be a friend in trouble. You see a photo of someone that you know, so they're trying to emulate somebody who's trustworthy in order for you to try and help your friend, but the message isn't actually coming from them. Number five, the message might be coming from a shortened URL. So rather than looking at the URL that's coming from and seeing it's coming from a trusted source, they might shorten that URL to help block that it's coming from a risky website. Number six, it could seem like it's too good to be true. Click on this and you can win yourself a free Xbox. Or number seven, it might have generic or missing greeting. So real companies are going to have your actual information to address you by name, as it says just here in this message that came through on the phone. It says, hi, Snapchat fan, and it's just really generic. So here's different ways that you can be alert when you're getting messages.
So these are good ways to help identify. But Katie, what happens if you accidentally click on the link anyway? It can't be that bad, right?
I don't know, Jason.
Well, that video was a fun one, but it does show us that sometimes when you click on a link in an email, unforeseen actions and complications can happen. So really make sure that you're paying attention to those indicators that we talked about when you're trying to figure out if something is a phishing attack. But if you do accidentally end up clicking on a phishing attack and you give personal information like your password or your account, Katie, can we change our NISD password if we need to?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you do find yourself that you've given vulnerable information out, the best practice is to change your password, and you can even do that to your NISD account. You can do this through the portal, but before we show you how, there's a couple of suggestions for best practices with passwords.
Yeah, make sure that only your parents know your password. You shouldn't be sharing it with friends. Make sure you never use any private identity information in your password. Like you don't want to include stuff like your social security number or your phone number in your password. Create passwords with at least 8 characters. More is better. Use letters, numbers, and symbols in your password. So instead of using an S, maybe use a $sign or a 5. If you have a phone or a tablet, make sure to set it on screen lock. As Mr. Weiss's class told us, we don't want people getting into that phone. So here's how you can change your NISD password directly in the portal.
To reset your password, you'll log into the portal. You'll click on your icon up at the top right. Click on Settings, and you'll find the option that says Recovery. Notice you'll see the Reset Password tab right here. You'll have to type in your old password, and then you'll have to type in your new password and confirm that same password, that new password, and click Save.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Martin at Tidwell, for that helpful information. So that's it for today, guys. We want to remind you that the Family Connections Hub is available at digitalcitizenship.nisdtx.org to view and share Family Connections lessons that link to the lessons you guys have had in class. And lastly, we want to make sure that we talked about the Wonder World Promise. Katie, how do they get a poster like this in their classroom?
So teachers, this is a poster that you can request through the very last piece that we're going to talk about just in a minute. This is a way for you to remind students of the different things that we've covered this year to be good digital citizens, not just at the beginning of the year, but all throughout the year. So one final action step that we have for you teachers is to complete the verification form. This is located in your Canvas course, your Digital Citizenship 6 through 8 course. Scroll to the bottom of the lessons and look for that verification form. This is how you will get credit for completing all of your lessons.
Students, we'd love for you to go ahead and take the Wonder World Promise with us. This just shows that you've had these lessons and that you can reflect on the lessons you've had this year. If you go to tinyurl.com/WonderWorldPromise on your mobile device or your Chromebook, it's just a Google form where you can reflect. And then once you guys fill out that form, you guys will receive in your email a personalized certificate, as well as a digital badge that you can use for your e-portfolio, your email signature, or anywhere else you want to showcase that you are a good digital citizen. We really appreciate you guys tuning in for our last digital citizenship lesson today. We'll leave these on the screen for you. And until next time.